All right, so let's go and talk about the upcoming news that we have. Danny Welbeck just opened up about him being a Manchester United fan and how Thierry Henry was the one who actually, gave him all the motivation when he used to watch Thierry Henry play football. So Danny Welbeck said, "While I was a Man United fan, watching Thierry Henry rip it up on TV was just amazing. When I was at Arsenal, I got to meet him quite a few times and had the privilege of being able to speak to him about the game. He's such a good guy that he was always there to speak to for advice. He'd even invite you round to his house to watch videos of games. He was always there for me when I was at Arsenal and even after I'd left as well." Crazy thing to say, but moving on, if you remember this performance from Santi Cazorla where he's bossing Bastian Schweinsteiger. Gary Neville on Santi Cazorla's performance against Schweinsteiger said that he toyed with him. It was like a man and his dog. He was on a leash. Schweinsteiger was on Santi Cazorla's leash, ladies and gentlemen, and that is unbelievable. It was, wasn't it? What a great day that was. But moving on, Matt Macy had just opened up about how his spell at Arsenal was. So Matt says, "I get asked a lot if I could have left Arsenal earlier. It's not always as easy at that as that at a big club. There are responsibilities for the manager to protect in terms of players picking up injuries at the top level. One thing I'd say is that every summer I always look to go and play football, whether it was on loan or to leave Arsenal. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. I'm just lucky that when I did decide to make the jump, it worked out really well at Hibs. So he's really doing well with Hibs, I guess. So all the best is what I want to say as well. So let's just talk about things that actually matter. So moving on, Tim Sherwood has slammed Arsenal for returning to boring business following their goalless draw with Brighton. So he spoke to Football 365, said, "Arsenal have no clue when to go long. They need to be more flexible in how they play. They're hell bent on playing out from the back, whereas Brighton mix it up. No, the Seagulls know when to play through and they know when to go long. It looked like that was after the Lord Mayor's show for Arsenal. That was a big game, Tottenham. Now we are back to the boring business, and it looked boring." Gotta give him points to say the truth. Yes, it was boring. It wasn't anything to be boring. I mean, for boring, I think, yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing that you could talk about. So Donny van de Beek's agent has done something. He's actually opened up about, you know, let's see. So Arsenal fans have been calling for, Arsenal fans know that Xhaka is out, so they want Donny van de Beek out of nowhere. So he's valued at around 27 million pounds according to Transfer Market, but apparently that's not how everything works at the moment. So the report claims that his agent, Donny van de Beek's agent, has been actively looking for a new club for his client ahead of the January transfer window, which is now less than 3 months away. So Arsenal might be one of the clubs that would be interested in signing him. So let's see how things will turn out to be. Would you want Donny van de Beek at Arsenal? That's a bigger question right now. So the criticism goes back to Aubameyang. Alan Smith has admitted that he was left disappointed with what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did against Brighton. He says, having got that goal against Spurs, you would have expected him to look a bit sharper, but certainly hasn't seen too much of the ball in the opposition's box." So another player getting linked, another day, another player getting linked to Arsenal. Jonathan David, who's playing at Lille, is actually having a good time at Lille. Arsenal are interested in signing him. Of course, Arsenal were interested in signing him before him going to Lille. So that is according to Todo Fichajes. So David is actually valued at around 31.5 million pounds on Transfer Market. The report claims that the Arsenal admire the prolific centre forward and could target him next summer, given Alex Lacazette is likely to leave North London when his contract expires at the end of the season. Already mentioned that Jude Bellingham has been pressed in by Kevin Campbell so that Arsenal could get him. So he's been talking about him. So let's talk about that. So Glenn Murray, former Brighton striker, has praised Arsenal's young squad. He says, to have that average age, 24, at such a big club, they're looking to dominate the future. They're not looking to dominate right now. You asked Jack Wilshere about would Mikel Arteta prefer a younger squad. I think it's easier for a manager's first job to come in. I think he's got a young, energetic, and moldable squad. So, fair play to Glenn Murray to talk like that. So Arsenal's squad value or squad worth has been revealed, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal's current squad is worth 482 million pounds, according to the new report from CIES Football Observatory. The Gunners' valuation ranks them as the 14th most valuable squad in Europe and 6th in the Premier League. So, yep. Crazy amount of money. But moving on, Reece Nelson is back into is back into Feyenoord. In the midst. So he has returned from injury, starting on the bench for Feyenoord. They had a 2-1 loss to Vitesse. Well, we all know that he picked up an injury, and his manager or coach really thought that what are Arsenal making him do? Even if he's a substitute, he should have good match fitness. And he came out on the media and criticized that. So Reece is back, by the way. That's all the update is all about. One of the updates that is all about. So, talking about different stuff. Gabriel, as we all mentioned, that Gabriel posted this on his Instagram about him losing his two teeth and then going back to the dentist and fixing them back. So, Lille midfielder Xhaka took to Instagram to mock him, his post read, "Have you called the tooth fairy?" That's what he said. I don't know why this is news, but yeah, this is news. Funny and true. So we're going to talk about Konstantinos Mavropanos and other Arsenal loanees. What exactly are they doing? So Stuttgart coach Pellegrino Matarazzo has lauded Mavropanos for his display against Hoffenheim. He scored a fantastic goal. So he says, "Dinos always shows in the training that he can do magic. He combined heart, energy and determination. We need guys like him." Well, apparently you know what you need to pay to get him. Simple as that. So let's talk about other Arsenal players on loan. So let's talk about that. So Matteo Guendouzi, well, he was the captain for Marseille's side, but they lost. Okay. So GFFN gave Guendouzi a 4 out of 10 and claimed he was outplayed by Lille counterpart Benjamin Andre. Marseille have an option to make a deal, a long-term one next summer, and the decision to make him captain bodes well. So then next was William Saliba. Saliba actually, of course, Jorge Sampaoli is actually talking good about him, but I think Saliba did not even have that much of a good evening. Good evening. Hector Bellerin actually made a big mistake for a goal for Arnaud Danjuma. I think he scored 2 goals. And yes, it looks like Hector Bellerin had a very good evening. Not mocking him, but yeah, using this as a funny part. So Hector Bellerin was schooled by Unai Emery. And costly error from Hector Bellerin as always. Lucas Torreira, well, he's fitting in well, but on and off. Yeah. So they lost to Napoli, I guess. Yeah, 2-1, and Torreira only played 25 minutes. Reece Nelson back to full fitness, as we all know. Ranarsson now. OH Leuven have an option to make his loan permanent next summer. However, Ranarsson has struggled to break into the Belgian side's lineup and is still waiting to make his debut. Dejan Iliev, the keeper has conceded just 9 goals in as many league games and has also registered 3 clean sheets. In their most recent game, they beat 2-1 to move to 11 points from their opening 10 games. Okay. However, this week, Miguel Aziz and Jorge Sotutu were not involved. Nicolas Dusmola was once again an unused sub. Of course, he joined Victoria Clown. So, Tyrese John Jules has been a regular contributor for Blackpool, but for the first time this season he was left out. So, as the Tangerines beat Blackburn 2-1. Daniel Ballard, really fantastic game. Matt Smith, however, has been a regular at Doncaster. The midfielder has played in all but 2 of Rovers' fixtures and came off the bench during the win against MK Dons on Saturday. Harry Clark put in an individual impressive display for Ross County, but they lost 1-0 to Dundee United. So that is all. Jonathan Dinzey has had to bide his time and wait for opportunities at Carlisle after joining last month. But after being out of the squad for the first 5 games, He has now started the last two games and completed the 2-0 defeat to Forest Green. Tom Smith's miserable start at Welling United continued, shipping 3 goals to add 6 that went past him last week. Sad, sad story. Sad, sad entry. So Shane Duffy opened up about Ben White. I'm just going to talk a little about him, very less. He says Ben White is an unbelievable player and we were sad to lose him. That's the level he's at now. You can see he's growing into his role at Arsenal now. He played really well against us. I got a bit of luck with a couple of the virus cases and a couple of injuries, and I've got a few games and I've just tried to make the most of it. So I think that's all that he said about Ben White. So with this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys really would like to see Jonathan David at Arsenal? Let me know in the comments. Cheers.